Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello. Good good afternoon. I guess just ask whether they can hear you or not.
No, ma'am. I have asked them. They are telling that I'm not audible to them. Am I audible to you, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you properly.
Okay. So why can't they hear me?
I don't know. Shivani, can you hear Maitri?
Hello. Am I audible now?
Anvai, can you
Okay.
hear me? Okay, perfect,
Yes,
perfect,
Shivani has. Yes. Okay.
perfect.
Ma'am, your network is not good.
My network
Your
is good.
network.
I can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. First of all, thank you for joining this live session. Uh,
Okay.
so, as today's live session is conducted by in-house company, so I would like to introduce to the viewers that she is Miss Prajakta Parab, ma'am, and she is the owner and founder of the Spectrum Food Solutions. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
this live session.
Thank you,
So,
Maitri.
ma'am, today we are going to talk about the topic on how to become a food safety auditor and what is food safety auditor. So, starting on
Right.
this, ma'am, can you say that who are food safety auditors? What is food safety
Okay.
auditing?
Perfect. So, when we talk about what food safety audit is, so auditing is basically reviewing and evaluating what are processes and operations that are happening in your food operational unit. That can be a food manufacturing or processing company. That can be into a restaurant. It can be into a hotel or into a warehouse also, anything wherein the operations are being taken place. So right from receiving to the dispatch of food, in between any operations, that can be labeling or storage or cooking. So all these things, personal hygiene. So reviewing of all these processes is something which is termed as food safety audit.
Okay, ma'am, very informative. And ma'am, can you say more about who are food auditors? What are the role of food auditing?
Perfect. So when we talk about what exactly, who are these food safety auditors and what is their role? So every organization, just a minute, Mantri. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Every organization has, food technologists or, food safety team leaders or quality assurance person or an executive who handles the food safety part. Now, their major role is to evaluate, to check whether they are complying to the food safety regulations, or you can say the FSSAI regulations or not. You can, for example, if we talk about the receiving of raw materials. Now, let's consider there is a milk processing or a sweet manufacturing company. Now, in that sweet manufacturing company, there would be milk that would be the basic and major ingredient since it's sweet manufacturing. So now the regulation says that when you are, receiving, for example, if you are a milk supplier to my company, which is into sweet manufacturing. Now, when I'm receiving that can of milk from you, the regulation says that the temperature monitoring is mandatory. So therein, the food safety auditor's job is to check, whether that food, the temperature monitoring is happening or not. At what, whether the food that has been received is labeled or not. So evaluation of all these processes and complying to the food safety regulations is something the job of the food safety auditor. Also, every company has own set of standards. When you say own set of standards, I mean that there are not every company is ISO certified. There are certain companies who are not ISO certified, and they have to comply only to the FSSAI Schedule 4 regulation. So depending upon what your company standard is, the auditor has to evaluate the company as per that particular regulation. So that is what the job of the food safety auditor is.
Okay. So, ma'am, again, I would like to ask that why food auditing is important for food industry? Is it important for every food industry, like small scale, large scale, startup, or like that? So, is food auditing certificate is important? for that?
Uh, there is no food auditing certificate. There are these when you do so there are different standards. You have certification for those standards and not for auditing. So
Okay.
when you talk about auditing, as I mentioned in your previous question also, it is something wherein you are evaluating your processes that whatever food is being received or being processed or packed or stored, when it is going to the consumer, it is fit for their human for the consumption. So evaluating of all these process is something auditing all about. Now, if you ask me that whether it is mandatory, so I would say it is mandatory and it is important also. Every food company should do food safety audits at regular intervals. It can be one can set a particular frequency. You can do it at on monthly basis. You can do it on you can say on like fortnightly basis, that is after every 15 days. So, and as I mentioned earlier, that every company has their own operations and own set of regulations. So, making a checklist
Yes.
and conducting audits is something one can do, so that they are also assured that whatever operations they are, complying to or they are implementing is happening as per the regulations. So that tomorrow there are no any food hazard that is happening when the product is being reached to the consumer. So that is why complying to the food safety regulations and doing food safety audits is very important, because that is what will it's a kind of you can say a precautionary measure that will help to you can say uh, avoid any kind of food contamination or food hazard.
Okay. So, ma'am, is there any validation on this certificate while if I have an industry and I'm conducting food audit. So the certificate which the auditor provides. So is there any like validation on that, like after this year or period of time, something like that is there? Is there
Of course, yes. So now, again, I would clearly say that it is not the auditor who would be giving you the certificate. You would be getting the certificate from the certification body. Now, again, there would
okay?
be, yeah. So when you get a certificate of food conducting food safety audit from a certification body, that particular certificate has a validity. It can be 3 years, it can be
Okay.
5 years. So
Oh,
when we talk about you so there are a lot of companies, who are into ISO certification or into BRC certification. Now, these kind of you can say certification bodies do give you certificates that you are ISO certified or you are FSSC certified, and then these certificates have a validity. However,
okay.
when, for example, now if I am a quality assurance person or I am a food safety team leader or in restaurant they call it hygiene manager or hygiene auditor. So now I as a hygiene auditor only have this duty to whatever is happening in the restaurant, in the operational area of the restaurant. I have to see, just evaluate that all the procedures are happening as per the FSSAI regulations or not. So this
Okay.
is something, yeah. So I don't have, as a hygiene auditor, I would just say that, I would give you a solution that, okay, if I have come across any loophole while you are, I'm auditing in your operational procedures. So if I come across any loophole, I would tell you that, madam, these are the observations, these are the non-compliances, and this is the corrective action that you have to take. That's the only thing I am authorized when I am working as a hygiene manager or an auditor. When there is a third party audit, as audits are of also different types. So when there is a third
Yes,
party
yes.
audit, that time the certification body has the authority to give you the certification, and that particular certification has a validity.
Okay. So, ma'am, there is no something like long time certification of audit and this that. So there is nothing like that. Long time ka
No,
certificate.
no, no.
Okay. So, ma'am, there is one question from Miss Shivani. What is the
Okay.
audit frequency in any food industry?
Okay. So usually the audit frequency can be a monthly basis. that is something which we call as internal audit. So that can be done on monthly basis, wherein there is a formation of, so that is as per the FSMS, that is the Food Safety Management System, wherein there is a formation of the hygiene team, and accordingly there are audits being conducted. So not necessarily, there are certain companies which don't have an hygiene team, and in that case, if there is a food technologist who's working in the company or someone who's into quality assurance, or as I mentioned, if somebody is a food safety team leader, they can do the audits, they can conduct the audits of their particular operational units on monthly basis. They can create a checklist as per now the basic regulation which any food company has to comply to. Even if you're ISO certified, that's fine. But complying, since your food company is in India, complying to the FSSAI regulation Schedule 4 is very important. So your checklist has to be prepared as per your operation. Your parameters in the checklist should be as per the FSSAI Schedule 4 regulation, and accordingly the audit has to be conducted. So in that also, if I tell you how the checklist has to be, so there should be one parameter, there should be one section which is of parameters. Other section would be of any non-compliances or observation that the auditor has observed, and then the third part would be of the corrective action. So this corrective action is something which the food safety auditor or FSTL, that is the food safety team leader, has to suggest to that particular operational area manager. So this is how the frequency would be.
Okay. I hope Ms. Shivani, your question has been answered. So, ma'am, can you tell me what are the different types of audits? Like, as you mentioned, there is something FSSAI, and what are the different types of audits?
Okay, so when we talk about the basic audits, there are three main types of audits. First is, you can say, the primary audit, then the secondary audit, second party audit, and then there is third party audit. Okay. So first party audit, second party audit, and the third party audit. There are three types of audits. Now when I talk about the first party audit, as I mentioned that every company has a food safety executive or food safety team leader, and that particular person conducts the audit of their own operational units, is something which is called as first party audit, wherein you yourself are doing audit of your own company. Okay, that is first party audit. When it comes to second party audit, it's an audit wherein the audit is conducted for your supplier or as a customer. So for example, if you are into tomato manufacturing, okay, for example, now you would be having a supplier who would be giving you tomatoes, or who would be supplying you sugar, who would be supplying you citric acid, right? So these are the ingredients that go in tomato ketchup. So
yes.
What happens is, now the regulation of FSSAI says that conducting vendor audits or supplier audits is very important. So for example, if I am a supplier of tomatoes and you are buying tomatoes from me, that means it's your duty that you come to me and you audit how I am storing the tomatoes. Am I following FIFO or FEFO, first in first out process or not, first expiry first out or not. So all these things is something you as a person has to conduct for my particular operational area. So that is where the supplier audit happens. Second part in the same, so when I talk about second party audit, this second party audit also has customer audit. Now what customer audit is, now you as a tomato ketchup supplier or a manufacturer, you would be supplying to 10 different people on retail basis or on wholesale basis. Now to whom you are supplying, they have a duty to come to your manufacturing area and audit whether you are complying to the FSSAI regulations or not. Got it? So that is a second party audit. And then finally comes the third party audit. Now third party audit is something wherein we talk about the ISO 22000 certification, we talk about BRC certification and FSSAI certification. So all these certifications wherein the third party certified bodies come to your operational unit and conduct the audit for your particular operational unit is something which is called as third party audit. So these are the three different types of audit: first party audit, second party audit, and third party audit. I hope you are clear with it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we have one question from the viewer. Um,
Okay.
okay. The question is from Ruta Foodie करके. So she has this question is, what is internal audit in food technology?
Okay. Internal audit basically now, if your company is not ISO certified, and you can take any food manufacturing company. Now, internal audit, as I mentioned earlier also, it's a kind of a process wherein you evaluate that whether all the operations happening in your operational unit, okay, of your food company is as per the FSSAI Schedule 4 regulations. Okay, so now internal audit is something. Now, for example, if she is the internal auditor of any company, or if at all she is a quality executive of any company, now she has a duty. It's her duty to conduct monthly audits for her company's operational unit. Now that particular company's audit has to be done as per the FSSAI Schedule 4. Now if you open, even if you go on FSSAI website, or if you go on Google and if you type FSSAI Schedule 4, you get a PDF document. Otherwise, there is a book of FSSAI. There's a new edition which has 2 volumes. But in the first volume, there is Schedule 4, which has certain parameters for every category of food business, be it slaughterhouse, be it dairy, be it catering, restaurant, food processing, manufacturing, anything. So internal auditor basically has to create that checklist as per the regulations of Schedule 4, depending upon what your operations is, and then conduct audits. So audit is basically, as I'm mentioning again, it's an evaluation of process that is happening in your food manufacturing, or whatever operations you have, so that you come to know that you are complying to the food safety regulations, and there are no chances of any food hazard or contamination happening in the near future. So that is what food safety audit is, and this is the reason why it is important.
Okay, I hope Ruta Foodie has been answered your question. Ma'am has answered it. I hope it is satisfied. So, ma'am, again, I'll ask that which is the first basic audit certification needed for any food industry? Like, which is the first certified audit certificate is needed for any food industry?
First certified, can you just repeat the question?
Which is the first basic audit certificate would any food industry have? Like first, like if they're starting a new company or a new industry, food industry or hotel industry, any of them. So which is the first basic certificate should like they need the basic certificate?
So it's not something like which one should be first or which one should be second. It depends upon what your operation is. You know Now a lot of people are getting into ISO certification, FSSC certification, or BRC.
Yes, yes,
But
yes, yes,
when you are, if your company is in India, having, complying to the FSSAI regulations as per the Schedule 4 is very important. That's mandatory. And second, most important thing is, instead of certification, I would say having an FSSAI license, be it startup, you are into
yes,
restaurant, you are into catering, you are into, basic food, manufacturing, anything. If you are into food business, even if you're a home chef, you should have, FSSAI license. So FSSAI license is mandatory for any food business. When answering to your question, then what certification is the first one that one should opt for? Depends upon what your requirement is, what certification you want to go for, depending upon your operations. There are certain
okay,
food business people who opt for HACCP certification. There are certain who
yes,
opt for ISO certification. So it depends from company to company.
okay. So, ma'am, as many of them are seeing their careers in food safety auditing and all. So, ma'am, what qualifications are needed to become a food safety auditor? Like many people are going, they're saying like after diploma degree, like what are the qualification needed to be a food safety auditor?
Okay. So, a lot of people have this question, and a lot of people,
Yes,
who are from food technology background are interested to become
including
food
me.
safety auditors. Okay. So, so in that case, some people think that, if you are a hygiene manager or if you're a hygiene auditor, then you are a food safety auditor. No. Of course, you do audit, but then you must consider to be a certified food safety auditor. In that case, when it comes to qualification, you should have a bachelor's degree related to food science or in food technology. After that, you should have a minimum experience of 3 to 5 years in food auditing itself. That is another thing. Also, one more thing: even if you're a diploma holder, you can opt for being a food safety auditor, irrespective of
Okay.
the number of years of experience that you have in food safety auditing. And
Yes,
simultaneously, when
yes.
you're taking these experiences, it's very important that you upgrade yourself with various courses. That is, there are these ISO awareness training programs. Then, when a person becomes certified is when you, have this ISO internal auditing certification and ISO lead auditing certification. So when we talk
Okay.
about ISO internal auditor certification, that's how, there are a lot of people who say that I am ISO certified auditor. So in that case, ISO certification is a 2 day training program, and ISO lead auditor certification is for 5 days. Internal auditor is for 2 days, and lead auditor is for 5 days. And these particular trainings are taken by the certification body. Now, it's something like, you have to attend the 2 day program, 5 day program. At the end of
Yes,
the
yes.
last day, you have to attend the exam. And if you get cleared,
Yes.
then you are considered to be the food safety
A
certified food
certified.
safety auditor.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you actually get certifications from the certification body. That's where the validity comes into picture. Like, also, we as an organization, Spectrum Food Solutions is associated with one of the very well known certification body. I won't be disclosing the name, but yeah. So these are the people who certify you as a certified food safety auditor. That's where the validity of your certification, or the term auditing is of actual real importance. Yeah,
Ma'am?
yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
am I audible? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So ma'am, there's one question. There's one question from Rutuja Foodie again. What
Uh-huh.
rights do food safety auditor have when hotel or food industry do not properly practices the regulation?
Okay. So this is a very a question. Now what happens is, a lot of people have this perception that when you're an auditor, you have this authority of like interrogating people or cross questioning them, or like just taking their cases basically. But that's not a real way of auditing. We don't have any specific rights, you can say, when we talk about food safety audit. The only thing the food
Yes.
safety auditors can do is, so it's basically, you help. Auditing is all about helping the other person, be it into manufacturing, restaurant, catering, anything. It's basically helping those food business operators to comply to the food safety regulations. That's the
Okay.
basic, essence, I would say, of being a food safety auditor. It's not something wherein you interrogate them, and take their cases, wherein, ye kyun nahi kiya, ye aapse hua nahi kya. So that's
Yes.
not the way the audit has to be performed. So I won't say that, right. We are somebody, as a food safety auditor, we have to be helpful to them. That, for example, if we see that the cleaning and sanitation of their establishment is not happening properly, or you can say, there are these glue pads, you can say, which are kept in the insecticutors. So that glue
Yes.
pad is
Yes.
not clean properly. So when you observe all these observations or the non-compliances, you have to, tell them that, these are the things that are not as per the regulations, and what all corrective
Okay.
action has to be taken for the same. Auditing is all about helping the food business operators to comply to the food safety regulation so that food safety is being maintained. There is nothing like rights into it.
Okay. I hope Ruta Foodie has your answer. Your question has been answered. Again, ma'am, one more question is there. What are the main food safety rules? What are the main food safety rules?
Okay, now to be more precise with this, like when you talk about what are the main food safety rules with respect to what? Because every process has different rules. Like the
Okay.
receiving of a raw material has certain regulations. Storage of
Yes, yes.
the food has certain regulations. So let's talk about the storage of food. Now, as per FSSAI Schedule 4, when we talk about storage of food, you directly cannot place any food product on the floor,
Yes.
be it a can,
Yes.
container, or gummy
Yes.
bag, anything. You can't directly place it on the floor. You have to keep it on the pallet. Now, that pallet should also be 6 inches above the ground,
It's
of the floor.
above around. Yes, yes.
Okay, so that is the case.
Yes.
So the rules vary from from process to process. So
Yes.
labeling has a different rule. When you talk about personal hygiene, that has certain different rules. So rules are n number of rules are there, and for that I would say if she's a food technologist, only one thing that she can do is open Schedule 4 of FSSAI and read all the
Yes.
regulations because it has vast to read
It's
into it.
was good. Yes, ma'am. True that. Ma'am, one more question from Mask Bloom 99. I guess she is asking that what is the difference between quality control and quality assurance?
Okay. So when we talk about the difference between the quality controller and quality assurance, quality controller is somebody who works into the laboratory, wherein doing the chemical analysis, microbial analysis, and evaluating that whatever food that is being produced or manufactured in that particular operational unit is as per the FSSAI standards. So Mars Blossom 99, if you check FSSAI FSSAI regulation volume 2, you will see on the last pages there are certain set of standards that for microbial analysis, when we talk about of any product, the amount of coliform or aerobic count should be this much. So
Yes.
these are the standards which the quality controller has to see that are the food that is being manufactured is as per the FSSAI standard or not. That is the job of the quality controller, and they determine it by performing certain chemical and microbial tests. That is the quality controller. When we talk about the quality assurance, the person sees. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello. Am I audible?
Can,
Yes, 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 ma'am. Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, so when we talk about the quality assurance person basically has their duty is basically to ensure that whatever food is being packed, stored, received, operated. So all the food safety measures are being implemented in their particular operational unit. So on regular basis. So keeping the
Yes.
daily logs, as in when we talk about the personal hygiene factor. So if there are 50 food employees, so whether they have before entering. Now the regulation of FSSAI says that before you enter your food operational unit, you have to wash your hands. Now washing hands does not mean the way we wash hands at home.
The
That should be as per the WHO standards. So
inside.
whether that is being done or not, are the nails of the food handlers are trimmed or not? The hairs are proper or not? Are they wearing any kind of accessories? Beyond that, they also have to see that when the food is being processed, that the production line in that particular production line, is there any food contamination or food hazard that is being happening? So this is something, wherein the preliminary PRPs basically that we call the prerequisite programs, the
Yes, yes.
OPRPs, the operational prerequisite programs. So all these things, evaluating all these things is the job of the quality assurance person. I hope Mars Blossom, your question has been answered.
Yes, you have commented yes. So, ma'am, I would like to ask that is food safety audits are cost effective? Like, is
Okay.
there?
Now, again, uh, there are two things here when we talk about. So, I just want to clear the question that you are saying food safety audits are cost effective in terms of you are saying that as a certification, like if I want to
Yes,
do a food safety auditing course, or if I want to do audit for my company. What is the question exactly?
company for company things.
Okay. So in that case now, see, when you're doing it from a third party, it depends from whom you're doing. A third party means the consultant. Now we, Spectrum Food Solutions, are also conducting food safety audits for various food business operators and various food operational companies. Now it depends upon how much the operational work is, as we as an auditors have to do, because it's not just about doing the audits, it's also about making them do, or making them take that corrective action, because audit is not just about ठीक है मतलब checklist हाथ में है and we do the audit and we give the report. It's not like that. Complying to the making them do the perform the corrective actions is also very important, because till the time the change doesn't
Yes.
happen, there's no use of doing the food safety audit. So that is how, when you talk about the cost effective, it depends on whom you are doing, how much you are doing. So there are certain frequencies also wherein people do. Some people do it on monthly basis, some people do it on, quarterly basis. So it depends upon, company to company. The cost is something which varies from, company to company.
Okay, ma'am, very informative, ma'am.
But
Ma'am,
one more
as
thing,
we talk, okay,
but Maitri, one more thing I want to mention over here is, considering cost. If we consider that it's cost effective and let's not do it. So I would say that this is something, food safety audits are something wherein you ensure that your system is happening properly or not. Second thing, the most important thing over here is when you do conduct food safety audits, and when people know about it, okay, that they are taking a step wherein they are assuring about their quality. So what happens is you
yes,
gain the trust of the consumers also in some or the other way. So and this is
okay,
something wherein it's very important, and it's not necessary that you have to do it from the third party. Every food company has a food technologist. If they don't have,
yes,
then they hire somebody from outside, like the food consultant. But every company has a food safety team leader or a quality assurance person who can conduct internal audits for them. Doing internal
okay,
audits on monthly basis is also very effective. The only thing is you have to have a proper checklist depending upon what standards you are maintaining, whether you have in-house standards, whether you are complying to the FSSAI Schedule 4 regulations or ISO or DRC. Depends upon the standards.
okay. Ma'am, is this checklists are self-made, or is it something like formatted from the company from where they are conducting the audits, or it is ISO, is it ISO or FSSAI standardized checklist? Like what it is?
So checklist is something wherein now if you open your FSSAI Schedule 4, or even if you go on FSSAI website, you will get certain checklists. 44-point checklist is there on the website of FSSAI. Also, there are certain companies who need more than 44 points. So wherein there are certain parameters like receiving of your raw material, personal hygiene, documentation, wherein whether you are maintaining the
Yes,
SOPs, food safety management system plan, whether the medicals of the food handlers and the vaccination is being
yes,
done or not.
yes,
So
yes,
all these parameters, pest control, then garbage disposal. So all these factors are considered while creating a checklist. I would suggest that if there is a startup who's into food business, or when people are not aware about what regulations they have to comply to, one thing I would say is, instead of going to any higher level standard of ISO, BRC, FSSC, it's better that you stick to FSSCI Schedule 4 regulations. Checklist of 44 point is mentioned on the website, or one can open the PDF document of FSSCI Schedule 4. You will get what the regulations are. Parameters have to be set as per that regulations only, and then the audit has to be conducted. So
Okay.
checklist, certain parameters may vary from company to company depending upon the operation, but the regulations are same for each and every company.
Okay. So they have to follow the all the regulation which is authorized by the
Of
um,
course, yes.
FSSAI. It depends upon what audit they are conducting for the industry or the any organization.
Exactly. Now, for example, you can say now there are certain common regulations. Now, keeping your food products 6 inches above the floor is mandatory for any food category business. You can be into slaughterhouse, you can be into a dairy, you can be into anything else, bakery. But then it's a common rule for everybody. FIFO, FEFO, FMFO. So all these
Yes.
terms and complying to all these regulations is mandatory for everybody. So there are certain rules. So
Okay.
hardly there would be any in-house standards. Now, personal hygiene may hand washing. How the hand washing should be, that's globally, regulation is similar for everybody. Only the parameters would change slightly, but the complying regulation part would be same. I hope you get what
Okay.
am I trying to say.
Yes, 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 ma'am. So, ma'am, as we talk about the hotel industry, like everybody has this mindset that hotel industry would be so lavish. Yeah, we agree that it is, in looks, it is lavish, posh, this, that. So, is it same with the kitchen thing? Like, is it same with the kitchen? Like, is it so lavish and posh in kitchen also? Like, how they handle the food, etc., this, that.
Okay. So, as far as the audits that I have conducted so far, I would say my personal experience, there have been certain, you can say restaurants who comply to the food safety regulations and are very particular with the documentation and in complying part. But there are on top of that, there are certain regulations, there are certain restaurants also who are not complying to it. So for example, I had been to one of the, one of the restaurant brands wherein all the documents, all the laws, all the testing, the food testing, water testing, vaccination of the food handlers, medical, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. A bit of observations that were there, but then that was okay. So wherein the corrective actions were taken for that. But there is again, a very well-known brand. I won't disclose the name, but then
Yes, yes.
in that case, it was a very pathetic restaurant. A pathetic restaurant. So wherein I could see that there were on the shelf on like the working table there were these boiled potatoes which were peeled and were kept aside. Beside this that particular working table, beside those peeled boiled potatoes, there were these the shells of boiled eggs.
Oh God.
So this is
Oh.
something which is, not acceptable. This is not
Yes,
tolerated,
yes.
and this is not at all as per the regulations. So there are certain, as I mentioned, it depends upon person to person, company to company, how they are thinking about food safety, how they are, how seriously they are taking food safety. Because there are certain people who think that food safety is something कि ये मतलब थोड़ा बहुत कर लिया बात खत्म, but it is not like that. Complying to
No,
because
exactly.
see small things and there can be huge amount of microbial contamination. We cannot see
Yes.
microorganisms, but then when we
Yes,
test
yes.
them, we come to know कि, oh, this much hazard has been happened. But people should understand the seriousness of this and should see to it that they are complying to most all the food safety regulations, I would say.
Okay, ma'am, there's a question from Miss Shifani. She's asking that how is the training of a food auditor is done? Is there any monthly training or for food auditor for food auditing?
No, there is no any monthly training for food auditor. It's like you can, as I mentioned earlier, also you can simultaneously while you are taking 3 to 5 years of experience as a food safety auditor. There what you can do is you can attend these short-term courses, which are one-day courses or maybe 2-day courses. You can upgrade yourself with these courses. It's not on monthly basis. The auditor training is not on monthly basis. The only thing is we have to see that like as we conduct the ISO awareness training. So that's a 1-day training. After that, there are these certification bodies with whom we are connected to. Therein these people conduct the trainings on, there are 2-day training, there are 5-day
Yes.
training. So that is how
Yes.
things happen.
Okay. I hope Shivani, your question has been answered by ma'am. I hope you are satisfied. Ma'am, as you are certified by ISO 22000, so can you explain what it is and how it works? The process of ISO
ISO
22000.
Okay. So basically, when we talk about ISO 22000, it's a standard which is set by
Okay.
International Organization for Standardization. Though the term is ISO, the full form or the abbreviation of ISO is International Organization for
Organization.
Standardization. Yeah. So this is basically a set standard for food. Now ISO 22000 is a standard for complying to the food safety management system. So that's a kind of a number. Now if you see, ISO has different numbers. There is 9000. There is
Yes, yes.
22000. So 9000 refers to something else. Quality management, or there are these fire safety audits also when it comes to ISO. There are a lot of
Okay.
things are there when it comes to ISO.
Yeah, yeah.
ISO
Every brand has ISO. Every
exactly.
brand has ISO. Yeah.
Exactly. So when we talk about 22000, it refers to the food safety management system. So
Okay.
ISO is basically the International Organization for Standardization for Food Safety Management System, whereas the regulations are being set for global. So these are the global regulations that are being set for the food business operators, wherein they have to comply, and these regulations are very stringent than FSSAI, wherein the documentation part has a lot of things to be maintained. The SOPs, the manuals, then the checklist for each and every process. Then also they have to see that are the processes happening as per the documentation or not. Then the training of the food handlers. So all these things comply the implementation of ISO standards.
Okay.
Earlier, the
Uh,
ISO, if you see, earlier the ISO 22000 number was ISO 22000 2005. But in the year
hmm.
2018, I guess in the month of June, the regulation has been updated. ISO regulation has been updated. So there is this number ISO 22000 2018. So that is how
Eight.
whenever there is an updation in the regulation, that particular year is being added into that the number. So ISO 22000 is a generic number for food safety management system regulation.
Okay. Very nicely explained, ma'am. Ma'am, there's one more question by Shivani Shetkar. She's asking like, for companies first looking into certification service, what
Hmm.
criteria should they use in setting a certification body?
Can you repeat the question?
For companies first looking into certification services, what criteria should they use in setting a certification body? I didn't understood the question what she's going to ask.
Even I do not understand the question, but then still
Uh,
I'll try to answer from my point of view. So basically, what happens is, now, for example, now we as a advisor, wherein we have this services of conducting food safety audits. We don't directly coordinate with any company and say, okay, if they approach us, wherein we say that wherein they say that they want to conduct ISO certification, so it's not something that we say, okay, ठीक है, हम कर देंगे. There is this process that we follow, which is called as gap audit. We initiate with a gap audit. We see how much amount of work has to be conducted in that particular operational area, and that's how the further processes of the auditing, the documentation, the training, all these things happen. So when we talk about the ISO implementation part, ISO implementation, so we as a consultant, we have to see that we are making any food company, if we are working or if we are consulting any food company for ISO 22000, we have to see that the company is prepared in terms of the documentation. The documentation includes the records, the checklist, the manuals, that is the ISO manuals, FSMS manuals. We have to see that all the daily records are being maintained. So that can be your production record, personal hygiene record, then dispatch record, maintenance of your, if there is chiller or freezer, then maintenance of all those equipment, cleaning and washing of raw materials, your establishment, everything. So those documentations have to be in place, everything. Then there should be, there is the second party audit, which is a part of ISO. As I mentioned, there are supplier audits and vendor audits in
Yes.
ISO 22000. So that is how we have to conduct the audit. Then comes the implementation part. It's not just that you keep it to the documentation part. We also have to see that we are complying to the food safety regulations also. So wherein, we see that, all the places in your food operational unit are in place. Also, the food handlers who are working in your particular area, like, operational unit, have vaccination, they have done their vaccination. Also, the medicals are being done. Okay, so all these things have to be considered when you are conducting any kind of ISO. And once you are prepared, once you are done with all these implementation parts, that's when you connect with the certification body, and then you ask them to do the audit for you. So it's a long process
Okay.
basically.
Yes, yes. It is a, I think this, is this audit takes a couple of days or couple of days, like 2 days, or is it a 1 day process of doing auditing of
No.
ISO 22000?
This entire process, right from consultation to the final auditing, it takes months. It takes months.
Oh,
Because what
oh,
happens is, see, yeah, it takes months. So what happens is, like, we as a consultant, we have to, or we have to tell them that these are the observations or the non-conformity, and the management has to take action for that. So tomorrow, if we enter into any food business, operational company, and we see that so as per the regulations of SSSCI and ISO also, there should be a designated hand washing area which has a hand sanitizer, has a hand
yes,
dryer, or
yes,
a disposable towel, or or it also has a warm water for hand washing
yes,
solution.
yes.
So it should be well
Yeah.
equipped. If any of the things is not there, that becomes a part of the observation. So all these things are to be placed by the management. How much time the management takes, your certification process takes longer. So that is how it happens basically.
Okay. So, ma'am, is it happened sometime that the audit has been rejected because of something? If you have observed, like perishable food is kept without the any pallets or like that, and the knife is not after processing the raw food, the knife is not put in the disinfect box. Is that happen? Like anything is observed, and after that the whole audit has been cancelled or rejected. Is it
So
possible
audit
like something can happen to this? Is it possible,
So
ma'am?
audits cannot be usually they don't get cancelled. There are two options, like not options, but then there are two things that the auditor tells you. One is while auditing, one is the observation, second is the non-compliance. So for example,
Yes,
observation is something wherein while the auditor is auditing your operational unit, if they see that in your hand washing area, a designated area, there is no dustbin that is being kept there for disposing the disposable towels or tissue papers or
yes,
whatever. So that comes under observation because it is not, it depends upon the criticality of how much, that particular action is hampering the, the food operational practices. So that is something, so okay, you can place a dustbin over there. So that is something which is not that critical. So they give you that particular thing and this is an observation and you have to place a dustbin over there. So they give you a timeline that in this particular timeline you have to place a dustbin. But there is this term called as non-compliance. Now, non-compliance is
yes,
something, for example, if there is rat dropping, that is the shit of the rat that is observed, for example, in your kitchen. in your case, if you are into catering and if that particular rat dropping is observed on any of a pan or on any vessel, that becomes a non-compliance. Wherein
Okay.
that is something becomes a criticality wherein that can lead to contamination or food poisoning. So all these things, because when cross contamination happens, that can lead to a lot of food hazards. So, considering all these factors, the report is being given by the auditor, and a timeline is given that within 30 days you have to comply, you have to take certain of the actions which are told to you, and then you have to return back to us. So that is how the entire auditing process happens. It doesn't get cancelled. If
Okay.
the
So
situation is worse, like worse, then then there is no point of conducting audit for such places. So that is how things happen.
okay. So ma'am, if you said that it is being delayed or this that. So is it been recorded in like where they are providing that paper to the organization? So is it recorded that this has been observed? The shed of rat has been observed in the kitchen, main kitchen, or anywhere else. So is that all been
Of course,
recorded?
yes. So there is a checklist, as I mentioned earlier also, that there is a checklist that
Yes.
every auditor has to carry. It's not something that आप audit कर रहे हो तो आप ऐसे ही kitchen के अंदर चले जाओ. No. Whenever you
Wow.
enter as a food safety auditor, you have to see that the audit has to be conducted as per what regulation? Is it as per the FSSAI normal regulation, that is a Schedule 4 regulation, or it is as per BRC or ISO regulations or FSSC? Depending upon what audit has to be conducted, so the checklist is carried as per that particular regulation. Audit is being conducted accordingly, and that is how the audit happens basically. So
Oh, so
when
that
you are saying that
doesn't.
as you mentioned
Yes,
that
ma'am.
yeah, so as you mentioned that if there is a rat dropping, of course then there is a parameter, there is, of course, as I mentioned, there is a parameter which says that are there any insects or droppings left in the kitchen area. So if there is, you have to mention that in the checklist. Once the entire audit is being done, that report has to be submitted to the concerned authority of that particular company, and with the corrective actions, that what corrective actions has to be taken. This is how the entire process.
Like,
Recording process is one of the very most important part of auditing. Be it any audit, be it that the internal audit that you are conducting, or the audit for the second party or the third party. Recording and documenting is very important.
okay. So this is very a huge process. ISO 22000 is
A
very huge
lot.
process.
A lot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, ma'am, if someone wants to make career in food safety auditing, is there should be a work experience like if I'm a diploma student, I just passed out. So, should I have 2 years experience in other industry, or then only I can be a food safety auditor? As you mentioned, there is a certification courses for five couple of days or week. So, is there a work experience matters for a food safety auditor to be a food safety auditor?
Of course, yes. I mentioned earlier also that 3 to 5 years of experience in auditing is required. Normally, you get an opportunity as a hygiene auditor, as a hygiene manager, so a food auditor you get. But then when you talk about the certified food auditor, you actually should have minimum 3 to 5 years of experience in auditing. When I was doing job,
Okay,
I was rejected. Yeah, when I had applied for applied for the designation of food safety auditor, I myself was rejected because I was not having an experience of
okay,
3 to 5 years in auditing. I had 4 years of experience, but I was not having 3 to 5 years of experience specifically in auditing. That was the reason I was rejected. So having the experience in auditing for 3 to 5 years is very important. That also you should have an experience wherein you have worked under a very well versed lead auditor. That is something which gives
okay.
you benefit, which gives you a good amount of exposure with when you talk about the food safety audit, especially the ISO, FSSC, and BRC
Yes, yes.
regulations.
Yeah, I hope like people like us would be very informative, like what you said now. like want to
Thank
make
you.
career in food safety auditing and this. Thank you, ma'am.
Of
Ma'am,
course,
there's a
yes, see,
question from.
we have a perception that, auditing is all about, holding the briefcase, and, then there are people who are getting
Yeah,
scared of
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
But then the reality is really different. When I was doing job, even I had this perception, but then as you work, you get the experience, you get the exposure, you understand what the regulations are, how the things have to be implemented. Auditing, as I mentioned earlier, also it's not something wherein you cross question somebody, or you take cases of
Yes,
people
yes.
that why haven't you implemented this. Instead, the main job of the auditor is to take the other person into interest and make them understand that they have to comply to the food safety regulation, and that why they have to comply to it is something the job of the auditor is.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, so much. Ma'am, there's one question from Fadke Kashvi. She's asking that what would you have done differently to improve the process of developing, maintaining a HACCP-based food safety plan?
Oh, now that is a very detailed answer for this, because HACCP, if you ask HACCP, people have only this, like HACCP is hazard analysis, critical control point, and it's
Yes.
seven principles. But HACCP has more to it. Now her question is that, like what would be the detailing for maintaining the plan and all.
Yeah.
I would say that if you connect me one to one, that would be of better communicating with her, because then it is really in depth. A lot of things are there when you
Okay.
talk about the HACCP plan, because HACCP does not seem that easy as it sounds easy as per its definition. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah, and whether it is you are complying to the FSSAI regulation, you are complying to the ISO regulation, HACCP implementation is mandatory, because you come to know that what are the PRPs, what are the OPRPs, what are the places in your operational unit which can lead to hazards. So the critical control point, the
Okay.
CCPs that we talk about. So a lot of things
CCP,
are
yeah.
there. Out of considering all these things, the hazard plan is being made. So that is something. Just ask her to connect to me. Accordingly, I'll explain her one to one.
Yes. Sure, ma'am, sure. Ma'am, before ending this, I don't want to end this session, but before ending this session, can you share your audit experience? Like it would be like not to say worse, but it can be worse or nice, like that. Like,
Okay.
can you share
When
your
one becomes
experience
an
of
auditor,
audits?
of course, yes. So when one becomes a food safety auditor, you get an amazing experience. First thing is that you are not stick to one company, wherein every day you have to audit that same particular place.